All right, we're continuing our lesson in social studies, which is new people in Ohio, right? New groups meet. And what they mean by that is you just have there's so many Europeans that ended up in Ohio, and they're talking about how that all worked out, right? So different cultures are meeting, meaning Native Americans, different European groups, all that stuff. So here we go. Without any further ado, we're getting right on over here to our lesson 3. And I'm going to put it up on the board for you guys. There it is right there. Okay, Ohio and the American Revolution. Our vocabulary is tax, revolution, and mission, right? And we're going to identify some causes and effects. And that's exactly what we're doing in reading right now. So it couldn't work out any better. Ohio and the American Revolution. A rider on a black horse races through the dark night carrying news, supplies, and weapons to a distant fort. Who is the bold rider, dressed not like a soldier but like any other man, carrying a rifle and a tomahawk? Amazingly, the rider is a woman. Not just any woman, but the famous American spy Annie Bailey. At the time, when a woman's role was seen only as caring for a home and family, Bailey risked her life to help American settlers and troops in the Ohio country. She was just one of the many heroes of the Ohio country during the American Revolution. Annie Bailey helped fight against the British. And so right here, there's a nice video on taxes and what it means. What are taxes? You're going to get a quick lesson on that. And over here, you're going to write down 5 interesting facts that you learned about taxes, right? All right, continuing on our little reading adventure. Taking sides. So we have a nice little timeline at the top, 1700 through 1790. 1775, the American Revolution begins. 1778, George Rogers Clark leads colonial troops through the Ohio country. 1782, peaceful Native Americans are killed at Gnadenhutten. 1783, American Revolution officially ends. Taking sides. Many American colonists did not like British rule. They also objected to British taxes, money people have to pay to their government. So in 1775, some colonists decided to start a revolution, or the overthrow of a government. Colonists signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Fighting in the Ohio country. The British told Native Americans that the colonists would soon take away their land. In response, some Native Americans decided to attack American forts and settlers. The Shawnee chief, Cornstalk, tried to warn the Americans of a British attack. He went to an American fort where he was later killed. His death led many Native American groups to join the British side. Squatters and other American settlers in the Ohio country helped the colonists by spying and gathering information for colonial soldiers. Annie Bailey and a skilled hunter named Simon Kenton were famous spies. Fort Lawrence, built in 1778, was the only American fort in the Ohio country. It was built as a base for the American soldiers waiting to attack Fort Detroit, but the attack never took place. It says, how did Ohio's Native Americans affect the American Revolution, cause and effect? So they talk about what happened. Something happened with Cornstalk, right? And then the Native Americans did something, right? So you'll answer that guy right there, okay? And then, in what ways could British soldiers travel to Fort Lawrence from Detroit? So you got to find Detroit. There it is. There's Fort Lawrence. In what ways? So you'll answer that here. The Revolution ends. No major battles took place in the Ohio country. However, in 1778, George Rogers Clark led colonial soldiers through the Ohio country. His troops captured British posts in Kaskaskia and Vincennes. Read more about George Rogers Clark on the next page. As fighting continued, some people did try to work for peace. A group of people from Europe called the Moravians, right? Moravians, right? Set up a mission village named Gnadenhutten for the Delaware. Okay, Gnadenhutten for the Delaware. A mission is a place where Europeans taught Native Americans the Christian religion. Both groups strongly believed it was wrong to fight. American colonists led by Captain David Williamson killed 96 peaceful Delaware men, women, and children. The colonists had wrongly claimed that the Delaware had attacked the settlers. After the killings at Gnadenhutten, some Native Americans attacked a group of colonial soldiers. Lots of causes and effects here, isn't there? William's son escaped, but an officer named William Crawford was captured and killed. Both sides were worn out. It was 1783, and the American Revolution was ending. What happened at Gnadenhutten? Can we do some cause and effect to help you summarize?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. We're going to answer these questions. How did the people of Ohio country become involved in the American Revolution? Right? Was the Ohio country at the time considered part of the colonies, the 13 original colonies? No. Write a summary of what you learned in this lesson. Use these vocabulary words in your writing. So you can actually make this a little bigger somewhere to make that easier, right? Mission, revolution, and tax. You could also try to structure your summary in the cause and effect format, right? Okay. Geography. Why do you think forts were often built near rivers or lakes? Why would you build a fort near a river or a lake? Think security. Anyone? Carson.
If you had to run away, you could get in a boat.
I guess. But, yes.
You could fish for food and supplies.
Food and water, so resources, yeah? You wouldn't have to, look, if the river was here behind you and then this was the fort, could they get to you easily from your flank? Yeah, so you don't have to cover a 360-degree perimeter, right? Yeah, so that's one way. All right, critical thinking, problem solving. How might the colonists and settlers have convinced the Native Americans to join their side? Because remember, they went to the British. And then 5, how many years after Fort Lawrence was built in the Ohio country did the American Revolution end? Well, gosh, I would think you would go up here and look at, the timeline, and then you could also find information in the paragraphs, right? All right, there you have it. Good luck. Tadero out.